Welcome back, one and all. I am Mazel, joined by Beatdown, and we're welcoming Smacks back to LCS Challengers League as we just had a very strong performance from TSM Challengers in game number 1 for sure. They played to the strengths of the composition, and they executed well. Smacks, I want to get your kind of breakdown of what your thoughts were on that first game.
We've given LJX a bit of a cold welcome, I feel like, to the league. You know, here, welcome. Here's your first game. You get to play against 4-time LCS winner Wild Turtle. Have a nice time in the bottom lane. It was a hard lane for him, I'm sure, but you know, you can bounce back from that, I think.
Yeah, and I think we got to see a little bit of fun performance from Surdy as well, trying to get as much as he could in the side lane. The Fiora pick, obviously trying to pick that up in the first phase. Interesting stuff enough. But we do have you here for a reason, because we have a halftime show that you've gotten prepared for us. So I'm going to hand over the reins here and take us away, Smack.
Well, I'm very appreciative of that, Lennon. I've got for us all a fun game show to play, a bit of trivia, a bit of competition, and yeah, let's just get right into it, because this here is NACL Feud. We've got it up on the screen. I made this in Microsoft Paint, and I'm ready.
Like the smiley face.
Actually.
Oh yeah. I drew those myself.
I like the old school money sign.
Ah, yes. The funny S. It's a great time.
The funny S.
I've got 3 trivia questions for the 3 of you. The way this is going to work is I'm going to show a question. There are going to be 5 answers to the question, and the 2 of you are going to be on a team. You can alternate guesses. If you do get 3 wrong, then it's over, and you've lost the question. Simple enough, yeah?
That sounds simple enough. I'm excited to see what the questions.
Let's get right into it. Question number 1. Doxa's team history. What are the 5 teams that Doxa has been on for longer than 2 months before making his way onto TSM Challengers? Either one of you can start. You can pick.
5? Oh no.
Yep, he's been on 5 whole teams.
That's just daunting to me.
Yeah, I know. Like Evil Genius Prodigies is one.
Yeah.
Ooh, is that an official guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. There it
Look
is.
at that.
Beatdown's on the board. Evil Genius's Prodigies.
Also Winthrop University. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you're supposed to alternate.
Oh,
Beatdown.
also. I'm sorry.
That's my.
To
be fair, he would have known. He would have known. He would have known.
All right, perfect. All right, that's Lennon's guess then. All right, back to Beatdown. Drops out.
More than 2 months, right?
Ooh.
More than 2 months.
More than 2 months.
Or at least an entire split.
is the killer for me, because it makes me second guess myself.
Yeah.
No, I only did that to cut out all of like the one-off tournament amateur teams. Most of these are just going to be fully memorable. Also, this is in it's in ascending order from recency. So Evil Genius's Prodigy is the second most recent team that he's been on, by the way.
Yeah.
Second.
All I'm saying is I know what the first one is. I think maybe.
Oh, do you?
And, you know.
Oh, it's Beatdown's turn.
Beatdown.
It is my turn.
You are on a team. You don't have to alternate if you don't want to.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's SLU, right?
SLU.
Yeah.
Bam.
Who's over there?
That's another one on the board. Look at that.
Yeah.
He was playing 80 carry, right?
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
I remember.
Which was interesting in its own right.
I talked about this yesterday too. Like, oh my god.
We got 2 more. Any more guesses here?
I don't know.
This is where it gets tricky.
I can give you a hint if you want.
Wait, he was on. Oh my gosh, I remember because like. It was the Zoe game he played, and it was before EGP. Oh my god, brain, please! It was for.
You're right there. I can tell that you're right there. With this.
You're almost. The door is about to open. You're gonna walk through.
Was it Taco Gaming?
It was Taco Gaming. You don't even need the hint. There you go. All right, only one more left.
Oh my god, we only got one. We gotta get this. We gotta
get this.
Our boy Doxa deserves it.
I know.
Oh my god, memory, don't fail me now.
All right, so this is before Taco Gaming.
This is before Taco Gaming, after Winthrop.
So.
I think it has to be an amateur.
It was 2020. Right? It was like 2020 when they won CLOL, right? So we're thinking 2021.
Yeah.
Or like 2021 early was.
It's pretty funny that this is the one that you haven't gotten yet. It is an amateur team, yeah.
Okay. What was it? It was a weird name. It's not Jake's
Yeah,
Kittens. It's not.
All right, I don't think you two are going to get it, and I want to get to the other question.
Okay,
as
fair
well.
enough, fair enough.
This is really funny that you missed this one. TSM Amateur.
Oh my god.
Now he's on TSM again. That's the one you missed, huh?
I knew that.
I'm upset.
Well,
I'm
so
upset.
mad.
You should've said
Spaghetti.
all right.
Ah.
Put
Well,
on my
question
glasses. I
one.
can't look.
Question one
on,
is
man.
done. Let's move on
Okay.
to question two. Here we go. Question two. What are Surdy's top 5 champions in his entire competitive career? 5 top laners that he's played.
God.
When you say top 5, you mean like most played, right?
Most played champions, yes.
Gotcha.
No other stat matters for this, just most played.
Nar.
Nar, that's on there.
Let's
You got
go.
it. You got one, Lennon. Good
Third.
job.
Let's go. Jet Joy, I got you, boo.
Top
By the way,
5
I can call him by his first name because we're best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's no big deal. Top. Oh man.
I mean,
this
the
is-
man did just like bold pick Fiora the last like
I was
4
gonna say.
times I've seen
I want to
him
say
play.
Fiora.
He did do
Fiora.
that. Is that an official guess?
Yes, Fiora's a guess. Yeah, I
Although-
knew it. The
He-
recency bias.
Recency bias.
With this last game, it actually does tie the 5th place one.
Really?
But I made this last night, so it doesn't count.
Okay, yeah, valid.
You're at 1 strike.
Ooh, okay.
Sure, we have 2 more strikes. So technically, it's your turn to guess. What are popular top laners? I've watched.
There's some goofy ones on here. I gotta say,
oh.
there's some that you wouldn't.
There's some
really
goofy
expect,
ones,
I think.
but
There's
they're-
at least one that I think is unexpected a bit.
Okay,
Okay.
Lennon. I'm gonna DM you an answer
Oh,
because it's not my
You can just say it out loud. You don't
Oh,
have to
okay.
say it.
just
I was
say
gonna
it.
You're
say
on the same
Crystal.
team.
I know, but we're supposed to alternate, so you know it's kind of like okay. Well,
Okay,
it's
okay.
say Camille.
Ooh. Camille, out of nowhere with no help from anyone.
Wow,
Yeah, of course.
Lennon, you're so smart. Camille is on.
Let's
the
go.
list. That's his
Thank
second
you,
most played
mysterious
champion.
voice of the universe.
Wow, incredible. All right, well, beat down back to you. You got 3 more on the board that you're missing. 2 more strikes.
2 more strikes. You said some of them were interesting.
Olaf. Look, that's definitely.
And
a
that's not.
Surdy
That's.
champion.
I agree, but it's top 5 most played, and I don't know
Yep,
if Olaf
he's
is.
been playing
Olaf.
for some years
super
now,
big.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say Olaf was like super big a couple years back, right?
That is
Or, like, even
true.
like a year ago. I don't know.
I think
Maybe
it was
not.
late 2021 or something. Olaf top.
You guys got to hurry this up. I got one more question after this.
We gotta think. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just saying, Olaf. We're gonna
Okay.
go with the striker.
Olaf.
Olaf.
We're gonna go with Olaf.
Olaf's
All
not
right,
one of
all
them.
right,
That's
Understand.
You only got one more
Understandable.
strike left. 3 more champions.
Say
you guys can
Jax.
do this.
Yeah, Jax. Thank you. No.
Oh my
All
god.
3
Strikes.
strikes.
Give them all in.
Only
Yeah.
2 more. All right,
All right,
here's
what do
the
you
list.
got?
We have Renekton in the top
Okay,
spot.
yeah, that
He's got
was-
20,
that was-
27
that was easy.
Renekton games career-wide. Number 4 is Jace. And number
Okay.
5 is the really interesting one. I really didn't expect this from him, but Shen is number 5.
Okay.
I definitely
Shen
would not have expected that from him.
Shen
but yeah,
gamer.
Shen,
gamer.
the 5th most played for
Is that from
Surdy.
his time on Evil Geniuses, maybe?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Playing
playing
more
for
for the
Danny back
team.
then, so
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense that you'd want to support that lane. Anyway, that is question number 2. And now for the final question of the game. What are the splits in LCS that either Haunser, Svenskeren, or Wild Turtle, or more of them, have won in the league? And this is the split, so give me the year and
Oh my
either
God.
spring or summer. Now, I do want to give a caveat. There are 6 answers here. I'm going to give you a bonus point if you get the one where all 3 of them won.
Oh my god.
2017 summer.
Is that one of them?
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. You got one.
Woo!
2017 summer. That's
That
not the
was
bonus
literally
point one.
from nowhere.
That's where Haunser
Oh.
and Svenskeren won. Doublelift had subbed back in by then, though.
Ah.
It gives you a bit of a hint.
I'm
I think.
really blanking on this. You know,
Say 2017. Say 2017 spring. Maybe they went back to back.
maybe they went back to 2017 spring for the universe of voice.
Look at that. That's the bonus point answer.
Yo,
That's the one where all
Universal
three
Voice
of
is
them won.
undefeated.
Voice is undefeated. My God.
Pretty good. Yeah, not bad, not bad. All right, now I do want to say 2017 summer is the most recent one. Everything else is older than that. So
Okay.
maybe that'll help you a little bit.
2015 spring. Just because I want to say that. I don't, it's probably not right.
That's
but
one of them. Yep.
Oh,
You got it. That's one.
Look at that.
Nicely done. They've won a lot.
It ain't
these
just
guys.
play-by-play in here, huh?
2016 summer.
2016 summer. Bam. That's another one. You
my
guys are on a
God.
roll. 4 for
Oh my
4
God.
so far.
All right, all right.
We're just
We
like
keep
that.
going. We just keep going back. We just keep
Yeah.
going back. We go 2014 summer. I'm gonna go with
Ooh, Landon.
one of them. Oh, we go.
Only one
2014
left.
spring. 2014 spring.
2014 spring.
Oh,
No.
Almost got them all in a row. That's
That
only
would've
one
been
strike though. You get two more
okay.
guesses wrong, but hopefully you'll get it right. Last
so
one.
2013 summer.
That's
Wait,
not it
it's
either.
I think the order is a bait.
You think it's a bait?
2015.
Okay,
He said it was the most recent.
No, I know,
She
but
said it was
I
the
mean,
most
it's not a bait beatdown.
Oh, okay,
I didn't.
never mind.
Yeah. She said
not
it was
trying
the
to
most
trick you.
recent was the 2017 summer,
Oh,
and it goes back. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we gotta
All right,
get this last one. We
get
got
that
draft
last
ready.
guess.
2013 spring.
Woo! You did it! Let's go! Yeah, these guys have been around for a while. They've won a lot, and seems like they keep on winning today as well. Congrats on that
Indeed.
first win. I'm looking forward to seeing if they can get the 2-0 today.
Man, that was actually a lot of fun. Thank you
That
so
was
much,
fun.
Max. We're gonna
course.
bid you adieu, though. We're gonna get into game number 2 here as we do have draft ready to go. So goodbye, Smacks, and say hello to TSMC and TLF here, as there
Hello.
will not be a switch up of sides, as TSMC back on that blue side, while TLF on that red side. That City Witty Karthus band has to be there every time. It feels like don't want to give him that comfort champion.
Right, and it's the city Karthus and the Elise that they're taking away. So those strong AP picks that he's been pretty solid on so far this split, they're just going to continue to remove those and put him on those more heavily gank style champions. And it's tough too because maybe you want something like the Maokai, but if you leave that one up, like Sven's just going to grab it on B1. So that makes this decision to go back onto the red side for TLF an interesting one for me. And it tells me that they still want to focus on that counter pick. This time around, I imagine it's going to be for the top lane, just because things didn't work out for 30 as well as they may have hoped the first time around.
And I mean, it was a pretty confident pick going into the first phase, realizing, right, you're fine with the blind pick Fiora there.
Yeah.
But I do want to see if they kind of save it. They didn't actually get that counter pick in
Right.
their 5th pick, right, last time around. So I do wonder if they try to utilize that more so this time. The Elise there is that ban for TSMC, though, on that blue side. And we do get the Caitlyn banned away this time around from Wild Turtle.
Fair enough. I think that was a tough one there in the bottom lane with that Caitlyn Ashe. They just don't want to see that one again. And fair enough. Overall, too, it's been a good showing for TSM Challengers, especially, I think, for Haunter topside. We talked about it again, even though he did, his laner did end up getting a kill early on with that top jungle skirmish we saw going on. Haunter did a really good job at kind of neutralizing Surdy, making sure this Fiora didn't run away with the game, and you pair that with the fact that bot lane won so hard, it made it so difficult for Surdy to actually split push. But that still seems to be where TLF find a lot of their success. So I want to see if they're going to switch things up and actually draft for teamfight, or they're just going to continue going for the split push, which is what's been so good for them thus far.
Well, TLF don't want to give over any parts to that bottom lane from last game.
Wow.
They also take away the Ashe. It is the first pick Sejuani for Svenskeren, and honestly, I'm very excited to see Svenskeren on the pick himself. I think he does really, really well on the Sejuani in terms of playing into kind of his heads-up nature in the jungle.
Yeah, like very intelligent player, really smart decision making in game. Even if mechanics aren't really there, we're in a meta where that doesn't matter. You can play Sedge, you can play Maokai, and you are chilling when it comes to just making the right calls and things like that. And that does open up the Varus to be picked up for TLF as well. We're going to see LJX run that again in the bottom side. And this time, without having to play into Caitlyn Ashe, I imagine it's going to be a little bit easier of a time.
So I'm really curious if they do just go to a jungle response here, try to get this set up for City Witty, maybe even go to his natural playstyle of getting something that's more farm heavy, even though there's not a lot left on the table, but that is one that will do it. And Lilia is the lock-in here for TLF.
Wow, I haven't seen Lilia in a long time. I heard rumblings in the preseason when the season was starting, but I still hadn't seen anyone brought it out. It could technically be top, but I'm really expecting, especially with the jungle changes on this patch where farming is a little nicer for junglers like Lilia, Graves, etc., that City Witty is going to be the one piloting it, and it's his style that we expect him to be on.
Yeah, but it is a certain peculiar style picked up, maybe a lover's style here for the bot lane of TSMC, as it is the Xayah Rakan duo locked in for them in the first phase. Now we're looking at what Rovex's response could be in the first phase here itself for TLF.
Right, and it might be a late pick for support once again there for TLF, but I think picking support here just makes the most sense. Like, you're gonna get your support pool pinch more than likely, but instead, it's the Tristana for Aspect, unless it's Varus support. So a couple things are
variability.
Yeah, things are kind of up in the air right now. But real quick back to TSM. I mean, the Xayah Rakan, we kind of hinted at it during Chance Select of Game 1 and in the pre-show. When I've seen Wild Turtle do best so far in NACL Spring, it is when he's playing this champion. The Xayah has had some good performances. You pair it with the Rakan, so it means Dragku, who is on a style of champion that is more his style from what we've seen from him in his previous experiences on the Rakan. I think this is it's partial comfort. It's a lot of good performances on these kinds of champions, and it's a good start here for TSM.
I'm really curious about the second phase now, as well as I'm sure the Pike ban's going to come through for TSMC. Since City Witty already has his champion, I would very much expect Rovex to not be able to get his anymore. And I do wonder what the kind of response is here for TLF on their last ban. They do take away that Azir from Doxa. The Akali was pretty big, but it's the Sylas that actually gets taken off the board.
All right, a couple of good looks there to pair with that Sejuani. Maybe it could mean that Tristana mid is what they're looking to set Aspect up for, but it's still up in the air, which is the cool thing about the draft here. And now it's just going to be, what are we seeing on 4? Last pick for Surdy. There's a lot of good options still up and available, so maybe ensuring he has that best matchup is probably something they want to go for here. Surely
they've got the Pike open if they want to go for it, but he also could be Rovex's Alistar. There's some setup there for the bottom lane, but again, back to that point you were just raising of the potential for a counter pick for Surdy. I'm exquisitely interested in the fact that Renekton is still available, but we'll see what this response is from TSM, as it is the Alistar for Rovex.
Right, and I think the Alistar pick, or rather picking support here, makes a lot of sense. A lot of the engaged supports got a lot of little buffs on top of all the other things that came up on with 13.3. So I imagine this is the beginning of that shift for supports to be able to have that a little bit more. And I like it because it's a very aggressive lane. Even though Alistar's level 1 is quite literally a meme, you pair that with Tristana, you have a lot of all-in potential, or rather with Varus, there's a lot of all-in potential going on there on that bottom side, and it just having that front line, which is sorely lacking on TLF's side.
Are they really just going to lock it in again for Hunter? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they also still have that late game with Doxa as well, and the Syndra, and it is the Scion for Hanser. So here we go. What is Surdy's response to this would-be unbeatable tank in the top side of the map?
It could be. It's not going to be the Fiora. The Gwen is an answer. Camille is an answer. There's a couple of those opportunities, champions really good into tanks. And I think the Gwen makes the most sense because of how good she is into dive. But Ornn is another example. This is a different look so far from Surdy with everything we've been hyping up with this player, how good he is. Yeah, we know he can play this style, but this is what TLF have been leaning towards overall. So seeing the Ornn is an interesting one. It's about team fight now, front to back, and that's the answer to my question, Lennon. TLF are willing to switch things up, are willing to play that slightly different style.
I'm very, very curious on the execution phase here, because it definitely looks like Aspect is going to have a lot of the carrying potential here for TLF. You're also looking at that bot lane again, but Surdy is going to be out of the equation. He kind of was, even in game number 1 on the Fiora pick. So they're opting into kind of what this series has brought, and I'm very, very interested again at how City Witty is going to pilot this Lilia pick with that kind of farming style into Svenskeren, who's going to be looking for the aggression.
Right, and it's interesting too because like Ornn is like, you pick Sion because you want frontline, you want a tank and everything like that, but Ornn is the best at that because on top of all of those things, the CC and everything, you get those Ornn items, so it gives you that extra element of scaling. You get that late game team fight potential, and that's a different look for TLF, but it is a welcome one. The worry was whether or not they'd be able to win unless Surdy was on a carry, had a big lead, and everything like that. And now TLF finally gets to answer that question.
Make sure you're spamming in chat who you think's going to take this dub. It was TLF for Team Liquid first, and TSMC for TSM Challengers. TSM, we're actually looking for a level 1 yet again. We tried to in game number 1 as well. Didn't find it, but now here we are. Another little foray into adventure. It looks like should be topside starts for both junglers. We do get a little bit of warding game going in for TLF on the bottom side, and gotta appreciate that. But it's funny to me that we get to a point where coming into this one, we were so hype about Surdy versus Hanser. We were so hype about the flex off, who's gonna get who's gonna get all this kills, the amount of damage, the amount of forward percentages, things like that were coming out of this top lane. And the culmination of the series is everywhere but top lane until the later parts of the game, and they will have their influences, but right now it is more so looking at the bounce between junglers and this mid and bot lane resource dump.
Right, and it's not to say these junglers can't have, or these top laners, excuse me, can't have impact on these picks, but it's just that it's not going to be as flashy. It's not going to be as fancy as the Fiora outplay or the crazy clickbait YouTube titles, but still certainly that opportunity for them to carry. And speaking of level 1 in the bottom lane, already a nice start.
Rovex did really good to target Wild Turtle there.
Yeah.
The majority of damage is dissuaded. LJX only about half health now. Does have a huge health differential coming into lane though. Something to worry about as Svenskeren is on his way down there. Aspect with this Tristana in mid lane though. This pick should be this aggressive carry for them as well. And it's a bit of that specialized pick, it feels like, that we don't necessarily see as often.
No, but it's definitely becoming more popular. It is tough into the Syndra overall. Early on, you do have that aggression with the Hail of Blades and everything like that. But once you start getting some points into all your abilities, especially some of that itemization, it is a little tough for the Tristana, especially because that rocket jump can be ignored, or rather interrupted by the scatter
No
of
Z-axis.
No Z-axis, exactly. Or I think this game has like a conditional Z-axis because there's like little things when you go in and out of the river that actually affect these things. We're not gonna get into that, but yeah, no Z-axis. Yeah, exactly.
Nitty gritty. We did see Svenskeren spotted out on his path down towards bottom side, so that is good information for TLF to have. And he'll be on his full clear down towards the bottom lane aggression that Wild Turtle and Dracu have. And I love to see the City Witties pathing down this way to kind of respond to that. We saw last game there was a lot of give and take from both junglers in terms of City Witty trying to show up and Svenskeren always being in his face. I'm sure we'll get a little bit more of that this time, even though City Witty would like to farm as much as possible.
So it'll be tough because of that exactly, where this bot lane is going to have to be more careful, and Rovex being on this Alistar does offer that little bit of extra safety, but City really wants to farm, as you say, but not really given that opportunity. Low on mana, down a level, and he's just going to have to walk away from his blue buff. And the fact that you're getting that additional pressure mid lane means Doxa can do what you're seeing here. Walk, make the move.
Getting engaged on here, though, with that explosive charge. City Witty in some trouble himself. Can't hit the abilities. Have to flash over the wall. Nice move from Svenskeren. He was waiting that pixel brush. And beautifully timed movement from TSMC early.
Yeah, really nice cover. This is what we keep talking about when we talk about how intelligent this player is. Those years of experience, definitely not for nothing here. But I gotta say, I respect Aspect just keeping the push on, keeping the pressure on, trying to get that priority. And if he's able to secure a kill and really turn this matchup around, especially if you get those turret plates, that could be a big deal to help City Witty, who we saw it getting invaded on a good bit, and make it easier for this Lilia to just farm and do what she wants.
Ooh, Svenskeren, they find a knock-up on LJX in first blood of Svenskeren bot side. They dove it and found the execution they needed. Rovex might be fried up into some hamburgers here pretty soon as he does run away. He's pretty tanky. House and Dracu taking a couple extra tower shots there. But they do come away with first blood and TSM strike.
Yeah, another thing, turret damage buffed just a little bit on this patch as well. Something to be mindful of when going for these dives. But TSM, they don't care, Lennon. They made it work. And I want to know if Rovex had his abilities or whether or not they were on cooldown, because they're long early. Didn't really see them come out during the dive. But we're going to replay this play over here. That engage onto Doxa means Svenskeren knows City, who's in the area, could move in onto him. And it's just really nice decision-making overall. Oh, are we going to get the whole thing? Yes, we are.
I like
want to know if... Trying to see if Rovex had his abilities or whether or not they were on cooldown. We're going to get to see this one again, which was just a good dive. You know City doesn't want any part of this, had just blown the flash, was low on health. Svenskeren, on the other hand, you got the red buff. You're feeling good. You're feeling strong. And it's just nice and easy. And Rovex did have the cooldowns. It's just nothing you could do.
Yeah, just good. Again, good execution from TSM on the bottom side of the map. Now, it's a y-axis, not z. Well, whatever it is. You know, geometry.
I'm pretty sure he's wrong. I'm going to let that go.
We're going to let that go. We're going to move forward. Hi, V-Flight. Yeah, shout outs to V-Flight Observer for LCS Challengers as well. As LCS. But we're back into this bottom lane with this aggression. If you want to use some of those hashtags to call us out, you can, because then we'll get to talk about it on Twitter, or from Twitter.
From Twitter, on broadcast. What more could people on Twitter want from us, Lennon? Surely not a single thing else.
Surely nothing else, right?
They just can't be. Is that not just the peak? Getting on broadcast? Like NACL?
Have us read your tweet on broadcast.
Yeah.
You never knew you wanted.
That's right.
Now we do get Svenskeren using some of that bot pressure, though, with this big CS lead for Wild Turtle to get this first dragon for them. And it's right as rain and just as new in this second game as it was in game number 1. They have gotten themselves a big lead, and they're using that pressure, that communication to stay on top of it.
This is nice and easy. Like game 1, all this prio gets you dragon control, which means TSM will be able to continue dragon stacking. The only real way for TLF to do something about it is going to be a team fight or some kind of skirmish if they want to slow it down. You have the Ornn, and I've seen plays where you have Ornn teleport to your turret pre-14 minutes to make something like that happen. But until Surdy's teleports back off cooldown, it's just a thought. You know, out into the ether. TLF could try it. Yeah, let it float until Team
Voice
Liquid.
of the universe.
Yeah, the voice of the universe. Undefeated, remember?
Catching dubs. Yeah. Oh, Doxa's in some trouble. He might need to catch his own dub as World Seed will actually not connect. Now, Svenskeren going back in to get the CC down as Doxa does have a power unleashed. They're moving back bot lane. There's a ton of pings down here, and TSM are going for another dive.
You just talked about it. The unleashed power. Svenskeren ticks over to level 6 as well. LJX and Rovex, they know it's time. They don't get to be near their turret anymore. They're going to lose out on that good bit of gold and XP. And it's not Caitlyn Ashe, but Wild Turtle and Dragku still very much in control of things here in the bottom lane. And also right there, that's one of the nicest parts about Zyra Khan. Your lane partner can channel your recall for you. That's so broken, actually.
This is good, though. This is good. Citywitty on the other side of the map will be getting a response for TLF. They're moving Aspect up as well. They'll be able to secure this Rift Herald, and it's just some of those early macro plays that we love to see. Svenskeren, though, in this response, and because of the pressure from bot lane, they're fine leaving Wild Turtle down there, and Aspect will be in trouble. Citywitty going for
the sleep.
He gets it, the Horn. Do they have the damage? No, they don't. Buster shot comes out, but it's all for naught. And yeah, it hit the combos, but Svenskeren is just too damn big.
Speaking of bigs,
solo bolo for Wild Turtle, 4-0 for TSM.
And they just get everything all across the map, Lennon. It just gets worse and worse for TLF here in this game 2. Rovex going to try and hold the wave as best he can. But Team Liquid could not get what they were hoping for with that play. No Rift Herald, no kills to show for it, and this gold deficit that we find them in. And you'll see it here in the replay. You had level 6, you had a lot of good teamfight tools, but your support was faster to the move. Dragku was in the area while Rovex was still in the bottom side river. And realistically, that's the big advantage that turned it around.
Yeah, and the sleep didn't get targeted or at least hit by the Ornn ulti there. would have done a lot more damage there. They just didn't have the AoE in the end. But now Wild Turtle with the smooth moves onto LJX.
It's just squeaky clean. Mr. Cleanse would be proud of that play.
Mr. Cleanse would be proud
if he saw that.
By God.
We'll have to clip it and then show it to Kangas so he can give us a rating. That could be a recurring theme actually. I'm super down for that.
Cleanse rating.
Yeah.
So we actually see that Svenskeren is actually headed back towards this bottom side. They still have control wards all throughout the river here, so control is not a question. It's just a matter of time. Now they're pushing up another wave. It's a 40 CS lead for Wild Turtle, and the strength in the bottom lane leads to Svenskeren pushing in City Witty in his own jungle.
This brought Prio, this lead that Wild Turtle and Dragu have, it just makes it so easy to keep
It's going to be big,
walking
though.
up.
Slow Seed is at an angle that it could hit a nice little sleep. Actually does not there. And now Svenskeren coming through. Rovex and LJX, they should back off this tower. City Witty is walking away. They did not back away. Svenskeren taking that extra little bit of damage. They have the Rift Herald available. This could just be a crash. Yeah. They're looking to just take first tower here at 11 minutes.
City almost has his ult up.
Back. Rovex is a little bit low, but Svenskeren is by himself. He is burning that flash back in, though. Svenskeren, Wild Turtle is waiting, but the Rift Herald doesn't get the charge off. Wild Turtle's just now taking the tower here. TSMC, they put themselves in such an awkward position, but doesn't even matter. When you're this far ahead, the answer is no. And LJX doesn't even get anything back. TSM, they are destroying the map.
And it's just an utter shambles here. Aspect trying to get something back, but not nice enough.
There, and it's a team diff.
Yeah, nothing else to be done there. It was a nice attempt there from Aspect, but this lead is just too much, too daunting for the side of Team Liquid First, and you see it in just the damage done, because that answer from City Witty honestly looked pretty good execution-wise, but at this point you're too far behind for you to do any relevant damage. And even though TSM aren't Drake stacking at the moment here, they just continue to be miles ahead in gold. And you see it again here. City stays once he realizes the Herald is being summoned, and because Svenskeren manages to dodge the Varus ulti there, it just made it so much easier for the rest of this fight to come through. You didn't have any big team fight tools left to you except the lilting lullaby, but realistically City not that far ahead yet. Exactly.
And it's just so interesting. The Wild Turtle was like, wait, guys, I don't want to take the tower. Okay, we're just going. I'm gonna fight then. And it just devolved into this situation where TLF felt forced to try to take a fight because they were getting so oppressed on both sides, and TSM are there to capitalize.
That they are. It's just an easy hiccup again for TSM, and it's another point where if Aspect had a little more gold, maybe would have been able to make something happen there. And this lead just gets worse and worse. Lennon, we're 13 minutes in, and it's 7,000 gold in favor of TSM. This is
that's huge though, and honestly, for me, for TSM, that's what is so telling about this is they've been going up against these provisional teams. They went up against AoE. They went 1-1. They went against Fear. They went 2-0. Now they're looking at a 2-0 over TLF as well, and it's cementing this kind of strength that we saw from them. That they're not just that top lane focus that we wanted to see out of them today, but it is about the whole team. Doxa getting resources, Wild Turtle and Dragu, when they are set up, and it feels like a little bit more comfortable with each other, you get such paid dividends.
Right, Doxa told me after the first 2 weeks of play, he really believed in this team's potential. Svenskeren even talked about how willing he is to listen, grow, and learn. And it's been a tough road for TSM Challengers at this 8-11 scoreline. But you can see slowly but surely, they are showing signs of growth. They are showing signs of improvement. And I think it's worth noting, this is a team who doesn't actually have a coach on the coaching staff. It is the players who run things like the draft, and of course the decisions in game and everything along those lines too.
And that's what makes these wins against this comp for TLF so telling, right? That first game, they came out with a prepared strategy. They executed on it. That is coming from the players. And it's so awesome to see, although even wishing they had a little bit more of that support. Awesome to see that they're able to execute like this from some of that veteran position, as Rovex will be made into hamburgers once again, and TSM are eating good.
That's right. It's got me feeling hungry.
Hamburgers beat down.
What do I like on my... Wow. It's a lettuce, definitely lettuce, tomatoes,
Okay.
sauteed onions all day, pickles. Oh.
Do you like a couple more kills? Because that's what TSM are delivering right now.
Delicious.
Lullaby doesn't do much. Does delay City Witty getting caught up.
Hello.
Aspect gets the trade right to the face. And you got to be careful for those flying trains there. There's another one hits and 10 kills across the bow for TSM Challengers.
You never know when those flying trains are going to strike, Lennon. It's a dangerous phenomenon.
You never know. You got the warn aspect about those, man. Like,
yeah, someone's got to give this man a pamphlet or something. This is dangerous. It's just all over the rift. And that's Hanser having that effect. Even on a tank like the Scion, just able to run it through mid and pick somebody off.
10,000 gold lead at 15 and a half minutes in. It'll be a Rift Herald now secured for TSM. And they'll move out back onto the map here. Surdy still hoping for that scaling aspect. Not going to really be coming anytime soon. You'd have first items pretty much across the board, actually across the board for TSM. Waiting on those second items, about 1.5 item at least completed for a lot of the carries here. But Svenskeren hovering back around mid. Now they do have a little bit of an awkward situation. The Rift Herald not going to be as easy to deliver into tier 2 towers, but I'm sure they'll be just fine.
More than likely. As right now they're holding on to that. We're about minute 30 from Dragon, so they're going to drop it surely before or maybe around that timer. But I think the thing I want to talk about, Lennon, is what do you like on your burgers? You didn't tell me.
So I'm like the Western burger kind of guy, like onion ring with like fried onions, like barbecue sauce, and bacon.
Respect. Yeah,
That kind of stuff. Yeah, that's the go-to. Oh, of course.
Good man.
And some lettuce. I'm not a big onion fan, you know.
That's fair.
But yeah, lettuce, tomato, things like that. I gotta get some good toppings.
Of course.
The Wild Turtle is not going shopping for burgers today. He's going shopping for a Tristana. I don't know what you get when you go shopping for a Tristana, but I guess we're about to find out. As Aspect, you might do some alcove gaming here. Gets to jump in, gets jumped on. Nice buster shot out, but Wild Turtle should be able to clean this one up. Thumbs up from Aspect. A couple more auto attacks bring him down, and Wild Turtle is now at a rampage.
Well, I don't know what happens when you buy Tristana, but I know what Wild Turtle got. There's another kill, that title of Rampage, and just this tier 2 turret. That's right, Lennon. I'm so glad you did that. I thought about it, and I wasn't ready. So I appreciate
it. Hey, I got you.
Okay, my man.
This will be a tier 2 tower going down to TSM. Rift Herald in the mid lane. It's not as difficult to deliver as I thought it would be. Now it's going to be TSM with delivery for
the flying train.
You gotta watch out for them, Beatdown. The pamphlets are everywhere. They're all over the walls, but the walls are closing in on TLF, and they don't know what to do about these trains as TSM are moving into the between tower space of TLF's base. Surdy's trying to find a side lane kill or side fight kill on the Wild Turtle, but can't do much here as there's still 5 members strong of TSM, and that's a clean ace.
Not only an ace, but the end of the game. Look at these spawn timers. TSM Challengers might be looking for a record here. Don't quote me on what the exact number is, but this is a pretty damn fast finish is what I'm trying to say here. And a fast 2-0 for TSM.
What a series, as it will be the fastest game here. 1910 was the last one. Dignitas versus CLG Faith, and TSMC will mark their legacy here in the NACL Spring 2023, the fastest game of the split. And what a way to do it. From every single position, they were firing on all cylinders, and it came through. A great adaptation in draft, great mechanical execution, and knowing where to press when they did. And really, really good stuff from TSMC to continue their win streak here onto 2 series wins in a row, 4 games in a row as well. But that's going to be it for this series. We will take a little break here. When we come back, we have Smacks with an interview.
Hello, everybody. I'm Smacks, and I'm joined here by the victorious Wild Turtle after his 2-0 in that last series against Team Liquid First. First of all, congratulations on the win, Wild Turtle. It's nice to talk to you today. Thank you. I've got some questions for you, as these interviews tend to go, you know. You should be prepared for that, I guess. I want to know what drew you initially to play on this TSM Challengers roster to begin with? Like, what led you to joining the team?
I think it was more so that the Svenskeren and Hanser were going to be on the roster. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty fun. And then they told me like there was like an up and coming prodigy and Oast that was like, his name is Dragu, of course, he's my support. I was like, hey, I'll try to play with something fresh. Like I haven't had something fresh in a while. An Oast support, that sounds like a pretty good time. So decided to join the team. Obviously we had the rough start. We had like a couple subs. We had visa issues with Dragu, but you know, at the end of the day, we came together. I think we're like 4-0 our last 4 games, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It sounds like you guys are bouncing back pretty nicely. I noticed that you've got some other like PC setups behind you. Do you have some of your teammates there like in the same room while you're playing?
No, these are just my friends set up.
Oh, okay.
They play Overwatch and stuff.
All right, makes sense. Yeah, you definitely want to turn those off while the interview's going. No Overwatch back there, right? Don't worry. For your teammates Hanser and Svenskeren, you know, you've known those guys for a long time. It seems like it's a really big draw for you to even play on this team to begin with. How has that relationship for you sort of changed throughout the years? Because you've known them for quite a while now.
It feels like the same thing. It's like kind of picked up where we left, you know. It was like 2017. I think obviously we've changed a lot in the last like, I don't know, 6 years, but at the end of the day, they're the same people, so. And we're not LCS players anymore, so we're working our way up. We're trying to be good again.
Yeah, I mean, the 2-0 today seems looking pretty good to me. It was a perfect game, by the way. We checked the stats in that break. The fastest game of the split so far, not dropping a single kill, no turrets, no nothing, just a perfect game for you. Where do you guys go from here? How does this league look for you now that you've gained some upward momentum?
I think we still have to prove ourselves a little bit. We beat some of the top teams, but now we're up against C9, which we think is going to be like one of the harder teams, as they have like ex-LCS players and a really good Korean mid laner. So they're going to be like the real challenge we're going to run into tomorrow. And I do hope we can bring our A game and display like our ability as a team and yeah, just smash some people.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I'm looking forward to it. You know, you've been around the NA space for a long time, played against a lot of different bot laners. I want to get your opinions on how this crop of AD carries has been looking to you. Are you impressed by anyone in particular? Any big standouts from the NACL AD carry pool?
I think Meech has been impressing me the most lately on CLG. I think he plays like a pretty solid game most of the time when I play against him. I don't remember if we played CLG on our stage game yet, but honestly don't remember. But I do hope to face him again on the stage.
That's really cool. Big shouts to Meech. I love to hear that. I've got one more thing for you to show you. I know you can't see the screen right now, but I'm going to put it up anyway for anyone watching. It's a little bit embarrassing for me, but this is an old tweet of mine from, I believe, 2018. Let me scroll down here. Yeah. March in 2018. It's me doing like some TSM like giveaway thing. And obviously I don't look like that anymore, but it's from like 5 years ago. And I mentioned in the tweet that you've been my favorite player ever since I started watching. And, you know, that's still true.
Oh, that's awesome. That's still true. Yeah. I did just show you a pretty good game, so, you know, you should be proud,
yeah.
A proud fan.
I am a proud fan, and I have been for a long time. And, you know, it's a little embarrassing on here because I mentioned that you inspired me to want to, like, play professionally. And spoilers, that never worked. I only ever hit master. But it's really cool to get to talk to you today and see you win on the stream as well. It's been a fun day. So thank you so much for that. Any last words you want to give before we kick it off to a break?
Just tune into the stream tomorrow and hopefully we can beat C9. That'll gonna be a banger match. Pretty excited for that one. And if you want to see me play some solo queue games, you can find me at Twitch Wild Turtle. That's about it.
Nice. All right. I'll tune in later. And to both of those things, actually. And yeah, we'll catch you tomorrow on the stream, Wild Turtle. Good luck in your games tomorrow, and thank you so much for the interview.
All right. See ya.
I'll see ya. For everyone else, we're going to take it to a quick break before we get into our second series on the stream, Immortals Challengers versus CLG Challengers. You're not going to want to miss it.